Hey you guys, welcome to my channel. So tonight we're going to be making simple pasta dinner. So first you get your elbow noodles, which is what I usually use, whatever pasta you like. I have the elbow noodles. So I put in water. The water has already been on low heat, but what I'm going to do is crank it up just a little bit so we can get this pasta cooking. So just make sure you separate your pasta in the water too, because sometimes they stick. So just go ahead and separate them. So once it gets a little boiling, just keep stirring them because, like I said, elbow noodles stick to each other. So, well, pasta stick to each other. Well, they stick to each other, so just keep stirring it up until your noodles get to however you like them to be. So now the noodles are really boiling, and I'm getting ready to test out one just to see how tender they are. And there go my testing the one elbow noodle. So but just cook them. It actually took me about a good 10 minutes on medium high heat for the noodles to become tender, at least to my liking. So I drained out a little bit of that pasta water. As you still see, there's some bubbles coming up. So now I have some extra virgin olive oil. And then I have some avocado oil. Just a little bit. I mean, all this stuff is optional. This is just what I use for my pasta. So just go ahead and keep stirring them noodles. Now we're not frying the noodles, so don't think because I use oil that it is instantly frying. And like I said, there's still some pasta water in there, so it's more flavoring that I'm just using the oils for. And so I have cherry tomatoes, jalapenos, and red onions. So I'm gonna go ahead and throw in my cherry tomatoes. And like I said, everything is optional. It's just up to how you want it to be. And so I'm just gonna put throw my jalapenos in there and some red onions. So, and I'm not gonna do all the red onions at one time. I'm just gonna cook some and then save some for later. And so now we just start sauteing, kind of cooking those little veggies up real quick. Make sure like the juices from the tomatoes come out. So keep stirring, y'all. And so now I'm going to add my seasoning. So I have sea salt. And you can use whatever salt you want. Like I said, it's whatever you want. But I'm using sea salt. Then I have black pepper, ground black pepper. And I'm starting to add Italian seasoning, organic Italian seasoning. A lot of that. Then I'm going to end up adding garlic powder. Even though there's some garlic powder and onion powder within the Italian seasoning, I just like my, little garlicky. Oh, got a little stuck. but that's okay as long as you keep on stirring. Like the oil really like absorbed, and so now the tomatoes are starting to heat up a little bit and release some juices, especially with you adding the salt. And the salt help release some of those juices from the tomatoes. So I have it on low heat now, just so things won't cook super fast. And so I just have it on low heat, just keep stirring. And like I said, it's something real simple, nothing too fancy. I was just tasting just to see how the seasoning was, and I liked it. Everything was fine. But I did add lime juice though. Or you can do lemon juice. I just added the lime juice for like that refreshing kind of taste to it. You know, only just add like a little bit. So it's not like a whole lot. It didn't taste limey or very citrusy. It's just something that was just something to help brighten up the flavors just a little bit. And I'm sorry I'm not a professional cook, you guys, because I did not give you guys any measurements of how much seasoning and tomatoes and all that stuff, you know, how much to put in there. It's just up to you all of how you want your stuff to be, because this is how I like mine. So I know you guys probably like y'all's a little bit different too as well. And nothing wrong with that. So I'm just gonna add now the rest of the onions. I cut the stove off, so now I'm just gonna add the rest of the onions, because I kind of like the onions to one for seasoning purposes, so it's cooked soft, and then this one because I like the red onion crunch. That's just me. So now I'm gonna add a little bit of mozzarella. I know everybody likes, you know, different cheeses and stuff. You can use feta cheese, mozzarella, provolone, whatever one you like. But I chose mozzarella. I chose mozzarella, and so I'm just gonna put like a little bit in here, and then some in the bowl, kind of like how I did the onions earlier. So the same thing is gonna happen here with the cheese. So a little bit in here just to get it melted and get that mozzarella taste going. I love that cheesy look. So now I have my little bowl. And like I said, I turned the stove off earlier, so now I'm just gonna put everything in my bowl. And scrape it real good. And now I'm just gonna add some more mozzarella on top. And I want to thank you guys so much for the support and love. And I truly appreciate you guys so much. If you have any friends or family members or anybody who would like this recipe, like I said, you could do it your way. It's just something simple, a nice little easy dinner put together.